Mass Effect 2 time! This one I did not stream during the COVID lockdown stage. What are the extras? Options are now extras, chat. I don't know if you knew that. Motion blur off. Film grain off. Sure we'll have quality. I'm playing on a Series X. I'm sure it's fine. That's all good. Dialogue volume. Now begins the trials and tribulations of the elusive man? Yes. Yes, it does. Stick those down there. I'm sure that'll be fine. You invert axes? No. Combat difficulty normal, auto level up off, squad power usage on, subtitles on, auto save on. Fantastic. If you haven't already picked up by now, and you've never played Mass Effect 2 before, it's very orange. It is incredibly orange. Import Mass Effect 1 character, Astra Shepard. Astra Shepard, 57, Adept, Paragon. Erdnot Rex survived the mission on Vermeer. Caden Alenko was killed on Vermeer. RIP Caden Alenko. 07 in chat. Fs, whatever. Council was saved by Shepard during the attack on the Citadel. Commander Shepard recommended Captain Anderson for a seat on the council. Okay, so these two... Yeah, these two options were not actually tracked in the original Mass Effect 2, because the last save point in Mass Effect 1 was before you made those decisions. So you literally could not save that flag data. So there will be a conversation at the start of this game where you choose which decision you made, because someone made what I believe in the industry is termed a whoopsie. Just make sure everything's fine in OBS. Everything seems fine in OBS. Because I'm now on console.
Shepard did everything right. More than we could have hoped for.
Commander Shepard uncovered the truth.
And still, it's not enough.
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack.
But they're sending her to fight Geth. Geth! We both know they're not the real threat. The Reapers are still out there.
And it's up to us to stop them.
The Council will never trust Cerberus. They'll never accept our help, even after everything humanity has accomplished. But Shepard, they'll follow her. She's a hero, a bloody icon. But she's just one woman. If we lose Shepard, humanity might well follow.
Then see to it that we don't lose her.
1 month after the devastating Geth attack on the Citadel, the galactic community struggles to rebuild. The Alliance fleet made a tremendous sacrifice to save the Citadel Council and earned humanity membership in their prestigious group. Now the Council is forced to respond to evidence that the Reapers, enormous machines that eradicate all organic civilization every 50,000 years, have returned. To quell the rumors that So it's just beginning. I tried. I did try, chat. I'm sorry. And yeah, that was a waste of tobacco. I don't smoke, but, you know, he's wasted that money. Those credits. He's never getting those back.
Disengaging FTL drives.
Jacquez!
Ignition sinks active. Board is green. We are running silent.
We're wasting our time. 4 days searching up and down this sector, and we haven't found any sign of Geth activity.
3 ships went missing here in the past month. Something happened to them.
My money's on slavers. The Terminus system is crawling with them.
Picking up something on the long-range scanner. Unidentified vessel. Looks like a cruiser.
Doesn't match any known signatures.
looks like likes the scene. I wonder
Cruiser
why.
is changing course. Now on intercept trajectory.
Can't be. Stealth systems are engaged. There's no way a Geth ship could possibly...
It's not the Geth. Brace for evasive maneuvers!
I'm a charging my laser. I'm a firing my laser.
Presley!
Kinetic barriers down. Multiple hull breaches. Weapons offline. Somebody get that fire out.
I don't know many people who have a ballista or a trebuchet just lying around, Josie. It'll be funky at the very least. R.I.P. that guy. Here they are. So this is always the
Shepard!
like crew member that you romance.
Stress beacon is ready for launch. Will the Alliance get here in time? The Alliance won't abandon us. We just need to hold on. Get everyone onto the escape shuttles. Joker's still in the cockpit. He won't evacuate. I'm not leaving either. I need you to get the crew onto the evac shuttles. I'll take care of Joker. Shepard. Liara, go. Now. Aye, aye.
Might turn the sound down once I get control of Shepard.
Everybody in! Go, go, go!
F. Normandy's look better. Okay, option. Nope, not controls. Yes, as I was saying. So if you romance someone in Mass Effect 1, so Liara, Ashley, or Caden, it is always the person you romanced there, unless you don't romance anyone. If you don't romance anyone, sorry, then it just defaults to Liara. Normandy's not that nice a place for tourism. No, it's not.
Mayday! 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 This is SSV Normandy!
I hear they've got big beaches now.
Suffered heavy damage from an unknown enemy. Come on, baby, hold
See, the joke here is this Normandy's not a good place for tourism, but Normandy in France has big beaches. I can't comment on the Normandy in France, having never been there. It's a planet. We'll be back here later. I do like spacewalk sections in games. It's one of my favourite things about Dead Space. I mean, I really like the Dead Space reboot, and I keep meaning to play the original on stream. I just don't want to do Obliteration Imminent. I don't want to do that asteroid section.
Come on, Joker. We have to get out of here.
No, I won't abandon the Normandy. I can still save her.
The Normandy's lost. Going down with the ship won't change that.
Yeah, okay. Help me up.
How's the audio
Going
balance?
around for another attack. Ah, watch the arm.
Because he's got Vrolik syndrome, don't forget. He's got brittle bones.
Commander! Shepard!
And just like that, Commander Shepard is dead. Audio's okay? Good, good, good. Obviously it's hard for me to tell. F's in chat for the Normandy, also I guess Shepard. Unfortunately, what you can't hear is the fact that there's a lot of panic breathing happening. If I recall correctly. I might turn the sound effects up and just leave the music low, and then just massive title card. Mass Effect Genesis is an interactive comic that summarizes the events of Mass Effect 1. Would you like to review the story so far? You know what, chat? Because I've got it, sure.
Just another routine mission. Why do they always say that before a mission? Of course it's routine. You haven't done anything yet. It's everything that happens along the way. The choices you make. The paths you choose. That turn the routine into anything but. Of course, that's how it started. A routine mission. Answering a distress call. And look where that got me. We were testing out the Normandy, Captain Anderson's new ship, when the distress call came in. An Alliance patrol on Eden Prime had been attacked. They'd seen something they couldn't explain. And whatever it was massive. I hit the ground with my lieutenant, Caden Alenko. A good kid, loyal, by the book, with a talent for biotics. We came across the lone survivor of the patrol, Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams. A soldier to the core. Tough, disciplined, ready to take on whatever came her way. Ashley joined up with us and took us to the spot where she lost her squad. That's when we saw it. The ship. Like nothing I'd ever seen. It was massive, scorching the colony and everything around it as it blasted away. We followed the path of destruction to an artifact, a beacon left by a long-dead race called the Protheans. The colony had dug it up, and whoever attacked them had tried to take it. Lieutenant Alenko made the mistake of getting too close. It hit him with some type of energy. I grabbed him and threw him out of the way. That's when it hit me. Hard. Every muscle in my body went rigid. I couldn't move. Could barely breathe. Everything went black. And then I saw something. A vision. Dream. A nightmare. By the time I woke up, we were halfway to the Citadel on our way to meet the Council. I was expected to explain what I'd seen. Anderson came along. So did Udina, our political representative on the Citadel. With those two heavyweights, it seemed reasonable we could persuade the Council that the ship we'd seen was a potential threat. As was the individual behind the attacks. The main suspect for the Eden Prime massacre was a Turian Spectre named Saren. He'd been seen by one of the survivors from the colony at Eden Prime, and there was some evidence to suggest that the ship was connected to Saren. But even Udina's pointed accusations weren't enough to convince the Council. They just couldn't believe one of their chosen elite Spectres could be guilty of something like that. They needed proof, which meant I needed proof. Fortunately, I wasn't alone in my search. Garrus, another Turian, wanted to help. A top agent for Citadel security. Despite orders from his superiors that he shouldn't get involved, he told me he was suspicious of Saren and he had some useful leads. More importantly, he was willing to share them.
Why is Garrus bracing the
That led
rifle
me to
barrel
Rex,
between his fingers?
the biggest, nastiest looking Krogan bounty hunter I'd ever seen. He turned out to be more than just a brute. It was his intel that led us to a fugitive with incriminating evidence on Saren. The fugitive turned out to be an energetic little Quarian named Tali. A tech expert with a knack for hacking, she'd procured some information on Saren. Evidence that proved Saren was dirty. Tali's evidence proved that Saren was responsible for the massacre on Eden Prime, and the immense warship we'd spotted was in fact Saren's flagship. But it went much further. Saren was trying to find a way to bring back a race of sentient machines from dark space. Machines allegedly responsible for cleansing the galaxy of all organic life. These Reapers were blamed for wiping out all life 50,000 years ago, including the Protheans, then disappearing back through the mass relays to dark space, leaving no trace that they'd ever been. That explained why Saren was after the beacon. And it made some sense out of my visions. But not much else. We couldn't convince the Council that the Reapers were a threat. But they agreed Saren had to be stopped. They stripped him of his Spectre status and gave me the honor of becoming the first human Spectre. My first task? Bring down Saren. Anderson decided to stay behind, giving up his ship, the Normandy. He told me I'd need it more than he would. He also pointed me in a direction. Liara. A Prothean expert, adept in biotics, and maybe most importantly, daughter of Benezia, Saren's top lieutenant. And like most Asari, as beautiful as she is intelligent, and born with a unique ability to meld with other species. Liara was able to help me decipher some of the vision the beacon had given me. Nothing concrete, but it gave me some clues. And a new appreciation for the Asari. Her technique for accessing my vision was unexpected, but not at all unpleasant. Caden was a little concerned about the connection I shared with Liara. As commander, I knew either relationship had the potential to interfere with the mission. I told Liara about how I felt. Apparently, she felt it too. But we agreed we wouldn't let it get in the way of our mission, finding Saren. Thanks to Liara's help, we had our next lead, Benezia. Saren had taken her to Noveria, where he'd enslaved the queen of a dangerous race of insect-like creatures, the Rachni. He ordered Benezia to use the same technique Liara had used on me to extract information from the Rachni Queen. The Queen's drones were everywhere, and they were not happy. We had to fight through hundreds of them to get to Benezia. By the time we arrived, Saren was gone, with the information. I tried to reason with Benezia, but Saren had indoctrinated her. He had somehow acquired the ability to control people's actions and wills. Benezia wouldn't surrender, and Liara was forced to watch her mother die in her arms. And I was left with an angry, dangerous Rachni Queen to deal with. She claimed her drones would do no harm if I released her. But the Rachni had terrorized the galaxy before. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't doom an entire species for past sins. And the Queen was true to her word. She left and took her army of drones with her. With Saren's top lieutenant dead, he was quickly running out of time and places to hide. I tracked him down at his base on Vermeer, but we soon learned it was more than a base of operations. It was a breeding ground. Saren was breeding an army of Krogan. He'd found a cure for the genophage, a disease inflicted on the Krogan to prevent them from breeding and taking over the galaxy. But the Krogan Saren was breeding were slaves, mindless beasts that obeyed Saren's will. I had to destroy the base and all its research. Rex disagreed. Violently. Rex wanted the genophage cure for his people. I tried to convince him to help me destroy it, that these Krogan weren't real. But he wouldn't back down. Fortunately, Rex is smarter than he looks. He realized this wasn't the way to help his people, and that Saren was the real threat. When we finally got to the center of the base, I realized just how close Saren was to completing his plan. He was already in communication with the Reapers. Sovereign, Saren's flagship we'd all assumed was just a ship, was a Reaper. It spoke to me, threatened me. I could feel the menace it had for every living thing. It wanted me dead. It wanted us all dead. And I knew it was capable of doing just that. What I couldn't understand was why Saren would help it. But there was no time to think about it. Sovereign knew where we were. We had to destroy the base and get the hell out. I split my team into 2 squads, sending Ash with one and Caden with the other as a distraction. We had a nuke and we planned to use it. Before we could detonate the bomb, Saren showed up. We fought. I stalled him to make time for my team. And in talking to him, I realized the truth. It wasn't Saren who was indoctrinating everyone. It was Sovereign, the Reaper. And Saren was in deeper than all of them. He tried to convince me he was still in control. Said he'd found a way to reduce the Reaper's influence, but he was kidding himself. Or believing the lies Sovereign was telling him. Before I could convince him to stop, he ran, leaving me just seconds to extract my squad mates. I tried, but I wasn't fast enough. I could only save one of them. Caden was a good man, and a great soldier. but I had to choose. And I chose Ash. That was the last time Saren would slip away from me. I knew then, the next time we met, one of us would die. With my team mostly intact, we chased Saren and his army to Ilos, a long-lost planet that had once belonged to the Protheans. As we prepared for what we knew would be a desperate fight, I spoke to my crew. We were just one ship, against Saren's growing army. I assured them all that despite the odds, we could defeat him. Liara saw through my words. She knew I was hurting after Caden's death. She could sense my doubts. We both knew this mission could be our last. Until that moment, we put our feelings aside for the sake of the mission. But why wait? We gave in to each other. And it was perfect. While it lasted. We arrived on Ilos close behind Saren. Once on the planet, we discovered a Prothean databank that helped me put the final pieces of my vision together. The Reapers had come 50,000 years ago, and every 50,000 years before that. Each
That's a
time
hell of a dry
purging
spell.
the galaxy of life. The Protheans had fought and died like every species before them, but a few survived long enough to leave a parting gift. The Protheans had discovered that the Citadel was the key to controlling the mass relays. By sabotaging the Citadel, they found a way to close the relays to dark space, slowing the Reapers' return, giving us the time we needed to find a solution to stop the Reapers once and for all. Saren knew this. He was leading his army to take control of the Citadel and re-establish the relays to dark space, bringing the waiting Reapers here to destroy us all. We followed him to the Citadel. It was intact, but heavily damaged. He had caught the Council fleets by surprise, and they were only now regrouping. And with Sovereign as
What
the
is Garrus
threat,
doing?
There was little hope that the fleets could counterattack with enough strength to take back the Citadel. But Saren was done running, and I was done chasing him. As the Alliance and Council fleets battled Saren's army outside the Citadel, I cornered the Turian bastard in the Citadel tower and confronted him. He died believing that the Reapers would save him. As I fought to regain control of the Citadel, the Council's flagship, the Destiny Ascension, fell under attack. Despite Saren's death, Sovereign and Saren's army continued to fight. The
That's fair,
Council was
Josie.
aboard the
That's fair.
Destiny Ascension, and they were requesting assistance. But I knew in order to help them, I would have to put our human Alliance fleet in jeopardy. The Council had to be saved. They represented the hearts and minds of the galactic community. Without them, the fleets would be in disarray. Even with the Citadel back in my control, Saren defeated and the Normandy leading the combined galactic fleet. The battle against Sovereign, a single Reaper, was relentless. It took the combined fleets of humanity and the other races, but in the end, Sovereign fell. But the costs were immense. While humanity's efforts in the war earned us our first seat on the Council, it was a hollow victory. The Reapers were still out there. I knew the fight was far from over, but as the one who'd led the fight against Saren, I was given new responsibilities. The choice of humanity's first counselor was left to me to decide.
Thoughts and press, guns. Thoughts and
On
press.
the one hand, Udina, the lifetime politician, ruthless and ambitious. He would easily navigate the political landmines that would soon be placed before him. The other choice, Captain Anderson, the career soldier. Tough but fair. But a friend, and someone I could trust. Both great leaders in their own right. Anderson didn't want the job, which was a sure sign he'd be perfect for it. No ambition to get in the way. The war was over. The threat had passed. In time, the Council would rebuild itself. The Citadel could be repaired. Even the pain of lost friends would fade. But none of that mattered if the Reapers were still out there. And if they were all as powerful as Sovereign, we had to find a way to stop them. I had to find a way. I gathered my crew, took my ship, and went in search of answers. Officially, the Council would only say I was assigned cleanup duty, routing out any remnants of Saren's army. Just another routine mission.
Opening pre-rendered cutscene. It's about to get squicky. Seriously though, content warning for like mild body horror.
Commander Shepard has been recovered. The Lazarus Project will proceed as planned.
Bones aren't meant to look that fragmented. I don't know much. I'm not a bone scientist, but I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to look like that. It'd be what? Osteologist, I guess? Osteologist? On the TARDIS register it goes. Isn't Kermit? Missing in action. Save your crew from an overwhelming attack. That achievement is just for beating the prologue. Amazing. Right, I'm going to change up the hairstyle every time, so... Nope. I guess this is our hairstyle. Stay with Adept. Just for the purposes of lore for everyone. Can it make more sense once you do your shift tomorrow? Yeah, sure, why not? Soldier, high-level operatives are outfitted with ocular synaptic processors that allow them to focus on targets with lethal accuracy, a whole bunch of abilities they get. Soldiers are pure combat specialists, known as tougher or more effective at taking down enemies with gunfire. Soldiers have the most thorough weapons training and can use all special ammo types. Infiltrators are equipped with cloaking systems that allow them to avoid detection for short periods of time, granting a tactical advantage over enemies. Infiltrators are tech and combat specialists with the unique ability to cloak themselves from visual and technological detection. Infiltrators are deadly at any range with a wide variety of weapons, equipment, and powers that can take down any enemy. Vanguards are outfitted with L5 implants, enabling them to perform a biotic charge that strikes the opponent with incredible force while bringing the Vanguard in close for short-range combat. Vanguards are feared for their high-risk, high-reward combat style, closing quickly on enemies and destroying them at close range with weapons and biotic abilities. Sentinel. Sentinels are equipped with the most advanced ablation armor system to keep themselves safe. If overloaded, the system will stun all enemies within a short distance. Sentinels are unique, bringing both tech and biotic abilities to the battlefield. While they lack the focus of adepts and engineers, they're versatile and can handle any situation. Side note, freaking love playing in Sentinel. Engineers can spawn combat drones to harass enemies or force them out of entrenched cover positions. Engineers are tech specialists, the only class able to employ combat drones on the battlefield. Engineers are the most effective class at blasting through enemy defenses and disabling opponents. However, this Shepard, Astra Shepard, is an adept. Adepts are outfitted with L5X implants that can spawn a micro-singularity, damaging enemies and pulling them apart, pulling them into the air. Adepts are biotic specialists, capable of disabling and killing enemies with raw biotic power. While they lack advanced combat training, they are the best at defeating enemies without firing a shot. Yeah, I don't need the big guns when I have warp, throw, and pull. It's fine. Also, I largely prefer pistols and submachine guns anyway. My achievements grid give me access to the following bonus powers. Select one. I guess I'll select Flashbang. So I think that's just because of the, like... Nope, it's gone. Never mind.
There, on the monitor. Something's wrong.
She's reacting to outside stimuli, showing an awareness of her surroundings. Oh my god, Miranda. I think she's waking up.
Damn it, Wilson. She's not ready yet. Give her the sedative. Shepard, don't try to move. Just lie still. Try to stay calm.
Heart rate's still climbing. Brain activity is off the charts. Stats pushing into the red zone. It's not working.
Another dose. Now.
Heart rate dropping. Stats falling back into normal range. That was too close. We almost lost her.
I told you your estimates were off. Run the numbers again.
Wake up, Commander.
Imagine if the one time you woke up in the middle of surgery, never again. I can imagine, yes. I can imagine that would be a never again. So, I was going to say, yeah. So this is, you know, as I said, one of my favorite games of all time. Honestly, I prefer the story of Mass Effect 1. I just think it's a better story. But this has better feeling gameplay. I think if they'd managed to, like, I feel like the Legendary Edition update to Mass Effect 1 did a lot to make it feel less clunky. Like, the original's fine, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy it. It's just, it feels very much like a pen and paper RPG, which, with a controller, feels very dissonant. There's some cognitive dissonance there, let's say. Also, you'll note I have 150,000 credits and 10,000 Palladium, Iridium, Platinum, and Element 0. The credits are because I maxed out my wallet in Mass Effect 1, and the elements are because I collected all the elements in Mass Effect 1. This will save approximately a metric fuck ton of time with planet scanning for resources. I will still need to do some scanning, but there is a guide on the internet which tells you which ones to go for, so I'll be using that for obvious reasons. Ari over on Twitch, I'm back, sorry for having to dip, had an unscheduled meeting. No worries, Ari, just in time for some Mass Effect 2. I'm going to do my level ups, because I hit a certain level in Mass Effect 1, I'm level 5 rather than level 1 in this. So I'm just going to get all of my abilities. What do I need for... Dang it. Pressed the wrong button. Well, never mind. I was going to put one into Biotic Mastery. And also, you notice I start with some Paragon points as well, because I maxed out my Paragon in Mass Effect 1. In this game, it is extremely difficult to get a perfect Paragon playthrough. So I'll try, but I'm less precious about it. We'll just see what happens. Complete the tutorials. What an objective. Unfortunately, the hacking in this one is so much worse than the hacking in the first game. Right, I'll do the ready, and then we'll do the listen. Modern combat hard suits have a triple canopy of protection. Hang on, are these all just the same ones as from the first game? They might be, actually. You know what, I'm not going to read all of this in one go, so what I'll do... I'm going to clear this all out so that it's, you know, not flashing at... Hang on, there's Mark All View. There we go. We'll start with Aliens Council Racers. I'll read all of these. You know what, I won't read all of these, because they are just the ones from the first game. I would read these, but I've already read them on stream, and there's a lot of them, so I'm not going to do that. I think this is the same, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are all from Mass Effect 1. So if you want to know what the Codex entries are, please watch my entire Mass Effect 1 playthrough or read them on the wiki, because I don't have time. Well, I do obviously have time. I don't have the inclination to go through and do all that reading in one go. I'd rather just play the game.
You don't have time to wait around, Shepard. Grab your weapon and armor.
His pistol doesn't have a thermal clip.
It's a med bay. We'll get you a clip from... Damn it! Those canisters by the door are going to blow. Get behind cover now. Keep your head down, Shepard. Shield yourself from the blast. Someone's hacking security trying to kill you. Look for a thermal clip for your pistol.
Big change from the first game.
Looks like they set up a barricade
Ammunition.
to try holding the mechs off. Look out! Keep moving. We need to get...
Can I turn aim assist off? No. Cool. Does the game remember who you romanced in the first game? Does it affect the second at all? Yes, Ari, it does remember romance options. I mean, there's some story beats that change like dialogue and options and things that changed based on who you romance. But while I'm going to spoil as little of this as possible. Liara is not a companion, party member in this game. So the fact that I romanced her will have relatively little bearing on it.
Shepard, security mechs are closing in on your position.
What are they bound to? That's warp. That's what I was looking for.
Nice work, Shepard. Coast is clear.
The pop-ups are tracking achievements, by the way. I can't turn them off as far as I know. Also, now there's a point me up option. The Emir mech.
Waste time. I can't keep the mechs distracted for long. Here come the mechs.
They've seen us.
And that's the grenade tutorial.
Hurry! Get to the door! Run!
Sprint through the fire.
Head to the next room and I'll find you. Shepard, you can free me. I've got mechs closing in on my position.
Unit member offline.
Beep boop boop boop.
Progress is slow, but subject shows signs of recovery. Major organs are again functional, and there are signs of rudimentary neurological activity. In an effort to accelerate the process, we've moved from simple organic reconstruction of the subject to biosynthetic fusion. Initial results show promise.
Yes, for a brief moment there, we were inside the fire. Time to... Oh no, there's not hacking up there.
Log update. The cost of this project is astronomical. Over 4 billion credits so far. But nobody seems to care that we've gone over budget. I don't know where the boss gets all this money. Maybe it's better not to know. I just wish he'd kick a little more in my direction once in a while.
Actually, going back to Ari's question, the romanceable characters in the first game aren't major characters in this at all. For a given value of major. Nah, I'll just watch.
Log update. I can't figure Miranda out. As project director, she should be ecstatic at all the progress we've made. But she's still the same old ice queen. Maybe she's worried Shepard might become the new favorite. Or maybe she is just a pure cold-hearted bitch.
Steve Bloom has such a gravelly voice.
Coming! Come
Oh, hey Jacob.
Got hurt! What are you doing here? Thought you were still a work in progress.
Ari, I'm going to put that question to my Discord community.
Are you with Miranda?
Yeah, sorry. I forgot this is all new to you right now. I'm Jacob Taylor. I've been stationed here for...
Hostiles detected.
Damn it! Things must be worse than I thought if Miranda's got you running around. I'll fill you in, but we better get you to the shuttle first.
I know this isn't the best time, but I'm sick of stumbling around when I don't know what's going on.
Fair enough. I'll give you the quick version. You and your ship were attacked and destroyed. You were killed. Dead as dead can be when they brought you here. Our scientists spent the last 2 years putting you back together. You've been comatose, or worse, that whole time. Welcome back to your life.
This doesn't look like an Alliance facility.
It isn't. I can't say much more than that for now. The Alliance officially declared you killed in action. The whole galaxy thinks you're dead. And if we don't get to those shuttles, they'll be right.
Were there any other survivors from the Normandy?
I'll tell you what. You help me finish off these mechs, and I'll play 20 questions with you all day. We're low on thermal clips, but I'm a biotic. Just give the order when you want me to hit him with the good stuff.
So yes, Jacob is the Caden replacement, except he has a personality.
Falling back.
No, they're dead, Jacob.
Okay.
They're falling
I
down.
promised I'd answer your questions. What do you want to know?
What's your job here?
Depends on who you ask. Technically, I'm Miranda's top lieutenant, but I'm just a soldier. I served 5 years in the Alliance before this. Now I'm in charge of the station's security. Usually a lot more dull than this. Normally I don't fire my gun unless it's target practice.
When I first woke up, someone named Miranda was talking to me over the radio. We lost contact just before I ran into you.
Miranda Lawson is the station's ranking officer. She led the Lazarus team. It was her job to bring you back to life, no matter what. Should have guessed she'd try to save you. She's not about to give up on you now. You said you lost contact. Could you tell what was happening?
Jacob's personality doesn't come out until ME3, in your opinion? It starts at a higher place, I guess?
There was some gunfire and an explosion right before I lost her.
She knows how to take care of herself. But I hope she's okay.
You said they spent 2 years rebuilding me. How bad were my injuries?
I'm no doctor, but it was bad. When I first saw you, you were nothing but meat and tubes. Anywhere else, they'd have put you in a coffin. But Project Lazarus was different. Cutting-edge technology.
Jacob, I don't know how to break this to you, but we are all just meat and tubes. That's all we are. Meat and tubes of varying hardness.
What do you mean, cloning? Cybernetics?
I don't know the details. You'd have to ask the scientists. But I'm pretty sure you're not a clone. They wanted to bring you back exactly as you were. You're still you. You just might have a few extra bits and pieces now.
What can you tell me about the project? Were there other test subjects?
Project Lazarus only had one subject. The whole point was to bring you back. Just you. Even that was a challenge. 2 years. All the top scientists. The best technology money could buy.
You're right, Josie. Human bodies do have terrible cable management. So poorly designed. Also, like to point out that perhaps cutting edge isn't a great phrase to use right now. Fair. Very fair.
Do you know anything about this attack? Who's behind it, what they're after?
Damned if I know. I was getting ready for some shut-eye, then bam! Bunch of explosions. Next thing I know, every damn mech in the place starts shooting at us. I'm guessing it had to be an inside job. You'd need top security access to hack all the mechs.
The last thing I remember is the Normandy blowing up. Did anyone else make it?
Just about everybody survived. A few servicemen from the lower decks didn't get out. Navigator Presley was killed by an explosion. But everyone else, including the non-Alliance crew, the Asari, Liara, and the Quarian, they all made it out alive.
Do you know what any of them are doing now?
I don't know, Commander. It's been 2 years. They've moved on. Left the Alliance. Could be anywhere.
They were my team. If they knew I was alive, they'd come back.
Maybe you can track them down after we get off the station. If we get off the station.
What's the quickest way to those shuttles?
Depends where the mechs are thickest. It's probably best if we...
Check. Anyone on this frequency? Anybody still alive out there? Hello?
Wilson, this is Jacob. I'm here with Commander Shepard. Just took out a wave of mechs over in D-Wing.
Shepard's alive? How the hell? Never mind. You need to get her out of there. Get to the service tunnels and head for the network control room.
Roger that, Wilson. Stay on this frequency.
I think I remember a Wilson checking on me one time when I woke up.
That's him. He's the chief medical tech. Answers directly to Miranda. Come on. The service tunnels are this way.
Come on, the service tunnels are this way, except I can only follow you.
Log update. The Lazarus Project is about to enter the final phase. It's taken nearly 2 years, but we did it. Commander Shepard is alive. This is the most amazing medical achievement in recorded history. Maybe now Miranda will finally show some appreciation for everything I've done.
Aw, he just wants Senpai to notice him. Wilson, it's not going to happen. You think they paid their power bill?
Hostiles! Damn it, Wilson. This room is crawling.
The whole station is crawling with mechs. I'm doing the best I can.
Don't think I left anything behind.
Wilson, find us another route out of here.
Oh god. They found me. Help!
Help!
Where are you?
Server room B! Hurry! They're out of control!
Up those stairs, Shepard.
Oh god. I'm hit! They shot me!
Yeah, no, they shot him.
Physical reconstruction of subject is complete, but we still need to evaluate all mental and neurological functions. Our orders were clear. Make Commander Shepard who she was before the explosion. The same mind, the same morals, the same personality. If we alter her identity in any way, if she's somehow not the woman she used to be, the Lazarus Project will have failed. I refuse to let that happen.
Like how Miranda gets the audio video logs. Wilson just gets the audio. He gets the A in AV.
Shepard, down here!
Oh, hang on. This is a tutorial.
Bastards got me in the leg!
You were there the first time I regained consciousness.
Yeah, that was me. How about we talk about this after we fix my leg?
Should be some Metagel in the first aid station on the wall. Hopefully there's enough to get him up and moving again.
Grab the Metagel from the first aid station on the wall.
Chat, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Could you remind me?
Thanks, Shepard. Never thought you'd save my life. Guess that makes us even now, huh? I thought maybe I could shut down the security mechs, but whoever did this fried the whole system. Completely irreversible.
We didn't ask what you were doing. Why do you even have security mech clearance? You were in the bio wing.
Weren't you listening? I came here to try and fix this. Besides, I was shot. How do you explain that?
You're all strangers to me. Let's get someplace safe and then we'll sort out whose fault it is.
Right, Shepard. We need to find Miranda. We can't leave her behind.
Forget about Miranda. She was over in D-Wing. The mechs were all over that sector. There's no way she survived.
A bunch of mechs won't drop Miranda. She's alive.
Then where is she? Why haven't we heard from her? There are only two possible explanations. She's either dead, or she's a traitor.
Then why did she wake me up and warn me about the attack?
Okay, maybe she's not a traitor. But that doesn't change the facts. We're here, she's not. We need to save ourselves. The shuttle bay is only a few
mechs away.
Blow the canisters to clear a path to the shuttles.
Impact. Gotta hurt! These mechs don't know when to quit.
Select overload.
That's it. Let's get out of here.
I like how the strategy is blow up the crates that he can potentially use for cover.
Okay, we took him down. But this is getting tense. Shepard, if I tell you who we work for, will you trust me?
This really isn't the time, Jacob.
We won't make it if she's expecting a shot in the back.
If you want to piss off the boss, it's your ass, Jacob.
The Lazarus Project, the program that rebuilt you. It's funded and controlled by Cerberus.
Admiral Kahoku! No!
I think I ran into Cerberus a few times while I was investigating Saren. Some kind of pro-human splinter group, right?
Well, that's what the Alliance wants people to believe. But there's more to it. The Alliance declared you dead. They gave up. Cerberus spent a fortune to bring you back. Look, I'd be suspicious too, but right now we have to work together. I thought you deserved to know what's what. Once we're off the station, I'll take you to the elusive man. He'll explain everything. I promise.
Elusive man. Is he in charge of all this?
Yeah, that's not his real name, of course. Nobody knows who he really is.
It was a code name the Alliance used for him. Kinda stuck.
If I recall correctly, his name's Jack.
I don't care what they did or what you say. I am not working with terrorists.
You can tell it to the boss, but after we've saved our butts. We're almost at the shuttle.
Just gonna wait for all of this to cycle through so I can pop the codex and do some codex clearing for you, chat.
Immediately following the First Contact War, an anonymous extranet manifesto warned that an alien attempt at human genocide was inevitable. The manifesto called for an army, a Cerberus, to guard against invasion through the Charon Relay. Derided as survivalist rhetoric written by an elusive man, the manifesto and its anonymous author soon fell off the media radar. But in 2165, terrorists stole antimatter from the SSV Geneva. The sole figure arrested named his sponsor Cerberus. Throughout the 2160s and 2170s, alleged Cerberus agents assassinated politicians, sabotaged starships bearing Ezo, and conducted nightmarish experiments on aliens and humans. Denounced as human supremacist, Cerberus calls itself human survivalist. Counter-terror experts speculate Cerberus may have changed leadership with its recent shift to stockpiling ships, agents, and weapons. Whether he, she, or they, the elusive man hides his finances hidden behind shell companies. Few doubt he will kill anyone attempting to expose him.
Attempting to expose him, her, or them, technically, narrator guy. Yep, we go this way. Datapad. Credits. Cerberus gives you money for scanning random things. So basically, just send them all the files you can download, and they'll pay you for them.
We've been spotted.
Rerouting power.
Chat, I hope you're ready to hit Allied Force casualties. A lot. Because there are a lot of mechs in this game. Oh, please go.
You're done.
I know it's the starter pistol, but I do like the Predator.
Test subject has been recovered, but the damage is far worse than we initially feared. In addition to the expected burns and internal injuries from the explosion, subject has suffered significant cellular breakdown due to long-term exposure to vacuum and sub-zero temperatures. Despite the extent of the physical trauma, Wilson assures me subject is salvageable. The Lazarus Project will proceed as planned.
No, the subject is Shepard. Ew. Notice there's no changed weapon redeem this time? No, Ari. I will only ever have 3 weapons. A heavy weapon, a pistol, and a submachine gun. Regular expression, Gath mech, but... Use tree. Don't worry, it gets worse for Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 1 has easily the best hacking minigame. Anyone for coffee?
Come on, through here. We're almost at the... Miranda, but you were...
Dead?
What the hell are you doing?
My job. Wilson betrayed us all.
Even if you're sure, did he deserve that welcome?
He sabotaged the security systems, killed my staff, and he would have killed us.
You sure about that, Miranda? We've known Wilson for years. What if you're wrong?
I'm never wrong. I thought you'd have learnt that by now, Jacob.
You should have taken him alive, see what he knew.
Too risky. I've put too much time and effort bringing you back to life to let you get killed now.
You really think Wilson's capable of that?
Not anymore.
No chat sheet, she has a point. Also, I've never realized how big Miranda's hair is before.
If you say so. What's our next step?
We get on the shuttle and go. My boss wants to speak to you.
You mean the elusive man? I know you work for Cerberus.
Ah, Jacob. I should have known your conscience would get the better of you.
Lying to the commander isn't the way to get her to join our cause.
Well, since we're getting everything out in the open, is there anything else you want to ask before we go, Commander?
Are you going to shoot me in the throat?
Convenient that you show up as we're leaving. Where were you during the attack?
Besides trying to save your life? Wilson figured out I was helping you and he sent an army of mechs to take me out. I got here as soon as I could. Probably a little too soon if you ask Wilson.
I can't unsee how big her hair is.
What about the rest of the people on the station?
This is the evac area. If they're not here now, they're not coming.
We can't leave without knowing for sure. We need to go back and look.
Don't you get it? The only one worth saving is you. Everyone else is expendable.
She's right. We all knew the risks when we signed up. Without you, there's no point to any of this.
Where are we going?
Another Cerberus facility. The elusive man is waiting for you there.
That's some Texas level volume. You have questions about Miranda's forehead and facial model? I'll allow that. I'll dismiss the other one. High Cranial Top is a trend on Asian social media, and we've got that some Texas level volume right there. The facial model is the voice actor. It's Yvonne Strovsky. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Not sure I trust you.
This is the only shuttle off the station. You want to stay and rot with the mechs? Be my guest.
Obviously, you know, it's probably not her hair that's been modelled.
Where are we going?
Another Cerberus facility. Oops. The elusive man is waiting for you there.
You're the Lazarus Project's director, aren't you?
That's right. I put 2 years of my life into this project. Into you.
And if you're lucky, you can put... No. She doesn't do gay romance as far as I'm aware.
What does Cerberus want from me?
Maybe you should ask the elusive man when you meet him. He poured virtually unlimited resources into Lazarus. Obviously, he has some kind of plan for you.
I've had enough of this station to last a lifetime.
Or 2, in your case. Come on.
Hey, she's got jokes.
Before you meet with the elusive man, we need to ask a few questions to evaluate your condition.
Come on, Miranda. More tests? Shepard took down those mechs without any trouble. That has to be good enough.
It's been 2 years since the attack. The elusive man needs to know that Shepard's personality and memories are intact. Ask the questions.
Did you say 2 years? I've been gone that long?
2 years and 12 days. And you were on an operating table for most of it.
The sooner we start, the sooner we can be done. Start with personal history.
Okay. Records show you grew up on Earth. Tough environment, no parents. You enlisted and won a medal fighting Batarians during the Skillian Blitz. Do you remember that?
A lot of lives depended on me holding that position. I did what I had to.
However you want to put it, it was damn impressive. I had friends who were there. Satisfied, Miranda?
Almost. Let's try something more recent. Vermeer, where you destroyed Saren's cloning facility. You had to leave one of your squad behind to die in the blast.
Lieutenant Caden Alenko was killed in action. It was your call. Why did you leave him behind?
I left a friend to die that day and I didn't do it casually. But I had to save as many people as I could. Caden gave his life for the rest of the team. Without him, I couldn't have stopped Saren. He died a hero.
I understand, Commander, and I wasn't judging your decision. Everybody at Cerberus knows that cloning facility had to be destroyed.
There are other tests we really should run.
Come on, Miranda. Enough with the quizzes. The memories are there, and I can vouch for Shepard's combat skills personally.
I suppose you're right. We'll have to hope the elusive man accepts our little field test as evidence enough.
So that's the conversation, I believe, where they ask who you saved, if you saved the council or not, but as it is no longer needed to set that flag, I guess they've just pulled it.
The elusive man is waiting for you in the other room.
I wouldn't keep the elusive man waiting.
Well, he can wait on me. It's cool.
The elusive man is waiting for you in the other room.
Yeah, but I've got cosmetics to change. Don't mind me, chap, just making my armor pretty. I'm thinking green for Shepard, blue for Liara. Yep, all about that green. Yeah, we'll go with that one. I think that's pretty cool. Casual appearance. I question their definition of the word casual. We'll go with the N7 hoodie for now. Why not? I can change that at any point. There's one of those on the in the captain's cabin of the ship we get.
Commander Shepard.
Elusive man. I thought we'd be meeting face to face.
Unnecessary precaution. Not unusual for people who know what you and I know.
It's not unusual. I'm going to stop that right there. I can't sing.
You might be the reason I'm still alive, but that doesn't mean I trust you.
You need to put your personal feelings aside. Humanity is up against the greatest threat of our brief existence.
The Reapers.
Good to see your memory's still intact. How are you feeling?
You need to earn the right to ask me those kinds of questions.
Cerberus isn't as evil as you believe. You and I are on the same side. We just have different methods.
Cut to the chase. What are the Reapers doing that made you decide to bring me back?
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack. While you've been sleeping, entire colonies have been disappearing. Human colonies. We believe it's someone working for the Reapers, just as Saren and the Geth aided Sovereign. You've seen it yourself. You bested all of them. That's just one reason we chose you.
Fighting a war doesn't seem like Cerberus. Why are you involved?
We're committed to the advancement and preservation of humanity. If the Reapers are targeting us, trying to wipe us out, Cerberus will stop them. If we wait for politicians or the Alliance to act, no more human colonies will be left.
Harry, do you want to know why that sounds like Martin Sheen? Because it is Martin Sheen.
Sovereign was trying to harvest all life in the galaxy. Why would the Reapers target a few human colonies?
Hundreds of thousands of colonists have vanished. I'd say that fits the definition of harvesting. Nobody's paying attention because it's random, and the attacks occur in remote locations. I don't know why they've suddenly targeted humanity. Maybe you got their attention when you killed one of them.
If this is a threat against humanity, you need to mobilize the Alliance.
They suffered substantial losses fighting Sovereign. They're rebuilding, still stretched too thin to waste resources verifying the Reaper threat. Blaming the abductions on mercs and pirates is easier and more convenient.
You could have trained an entire army for what you spent to bring me back.
You're unique, not just in ability or what you've experienced, but in what you represent. You stood for humanity at a key moment. You're more than a soldier. You're a symbol. And I don't know if the Reapers understand fear, but you killed one. They have to respect that.
Actually, I think my Joker killed a Reaper. I just killed the uploaded form in a much smaller, frailer frame.
If what you say is true, if the Reapers are behind this, I'd consider helping you.
I'd be disappointed if you accepted any of this without seeing for yourself. I have a shuttle ready to take you to Freedom's Progress, the latest colony to be abducted. Miranda and Jacob will brief you.
Miranda killed Wilson in cold blood. Jacob's just a gun for hire. You expect me to trust them?
Wilson was one of my best agents, but he was a traitor. Miranda did exactly what I expected of her, and she saved your life in more ways than one. Jacob's a soldier, one of the best. He's never fully trusted me, but he's always been honest about it. You'll be just fine with them. For now.
Is this a volunteer job, or am I being volunteered?
You always have a choice, Shepard. If you don't find the evidence we're both looking for, we can part ways. But first, go to Freedom's Progress. Find any clues you can. Who's abducting the colonies? Do they have any connection to the Reapers? I brought you back. It's up to you to do the rest.
Connection terminated. Sweet, leveled up. Very elusive. Return to active duty. And yes, the pop-ups do occur newest first. It's so stupid. I don't know why they decided to do it that way. Just gonna wait for them to cycle through and then I'll level up. There we go. Points in everything. Investigate colony. Investigate missing colonists. No side quests yet.
Freedom's Progress colony was once a typical Alliance settlement, but following complete communications blackout and its apparent destruction, is now a lightning rod for anxiety and dread in the galactic human community. The communications blackout followed an upgrade of the colony's small military force, supplemented by mechs and security drones, with high-powered, tower-mounted Guardian lasers. Colonists complained about construction cost overruns, delays, noise, and damage to the local environment. They also feared the defense array could be seen as provocative to their world's neighbors. Such fears may not have been baseless. Authorities have still offered no explanation for the communications blackout, fueling rumors of plagues, natural disasters, or a cult-inspired mass suicide. Located in strategically insignificant space, Freedom's Progress colony had once offered residents spectacular rainbows, lush marshlands, and stunning mountain ranges. Its potential as an agricultural settlement and tourism wonderland rivaled that of any Alliance colony.
And just so we're on the same page, cult-inspired mass suicide is not the name of the video game.
The reclusive tycoon calling himself the Elusive Man is a human nationalist focused on advancing human interests, whatever the cost to non-humans. The Citadel Council regards him as a fanatic, posing a serious threat to galactic security. A mysterious maverick, to say the least, the Elusive Man heads the Cerberus network. Dubbed the Elusive Empire by investigators, Cerberus is an allegedly untraceable syndicate of private intelligence agencies, biotics laboratories, engineering and scientific research teams, and lucrative front companies. Branded a terrorist and seditionist organization by authorities, Cerberus is the only human power base other than the Terra Firma Party, strong enough to embarrass, if not threaten, the Council and its human representatives.
I don't think I like Martin Sheen, not the actor, this version of him. What, the Elusive Man? Oh, he's fine. Sure, he's on the up and up. Also, I'm pretty sure that image above my head is concept art. I mean, obviously, it's a much younger one, so it might be intended to be a younger version of him, but still.
The Elusive Man is very impressed with you. I'm eager to see if you can live up to his expectations on this mission.
I can't have anyone disobeying my commands when we get there.
I know who I report to. As long as you don't do anything to betray Cerberus, I'll follow your orders.
Cool. Now, Neil.
I never got a chance to say how much I appreciated what the Lazarus Project did for me.
I just hope it was worth it. A lot of people lost their lives on that station.
We have to work together here. Your attitude isn't helping anything.
I have the utmost respect for your abilities, Shepard. It's your motivations that concern me. I believe in what Cerberus stands for. Only time will tell if you prove to be an asset or a liability to our cause.
What can you tell me about this colony we're going to?
Freedom's Progress? It's a typical human settlement in the Terminus systems. They had a small military force for protection supplemented by mechs and security drones. Average in almost every way, really. Completely unremarkable. Until the disappearance.
They were fine. Until they weren't.
Any thoughts on what we might run into there?
A lot of empty buildings and one giant mystery.
Fair.
I'd like to know more about the Lazarus Project from the person in charge.
I wasn't in charge. The Elusive Man was. If I was running the show, would have done a few things differently.
What would you have changed?
To start, I would have implanted you with some type of control chip. But the Elusive Man wouldn't allow it. He was afraid it might affect your personality, alter your character somehow. He wouldn't let us do anything that might limit your potential in any way.
I was about to say, I'm glad he was in charge.
Can't say I like the idea of being brought back to life with a control chip in my brain.
The Elusive Man is taking an incredible risk with you. I just hope his gamble pays off.
Who says it had to go in the brain, Shepard? Could have gone in your butt.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Worried about my qualifications? I can crush a mech with my biotics or shoot its head off at 100 yards. Take your pick.
I might say their choice of location was a terminal one. Eyo, Flux with the jokes.
I was trying to get to know you as a human being.
I'm not looking for a friend, Shepard. Stay focused on the mission.
Did you and Jacob serve together in the Alliance?
No. The Elusive Man recognized my potential and recruited me at a young age.
How old were you?
Old enough to know this is what I wanted.
It's obvious you're not interested in talking.
We've got an assignment. We can talk about it or we can do it.
Bet you gave apples to the teacher as well.
I'm glad the Elusive Man convinced you to join us, Commander.
I just want to find out what happened to those missing people. I still don't trust Cerberus.
Noted. Do you trust me, Commander?
You're a good man, Jacob. But you might be working for the wrong people.
Maybe. But I thought the same when I was with the Alliance. That's why I'm here now.
Do you know anything about this colony we're going to?
It's called Freedom's Progress. Don't know much else. I guess we'll find out when we get there.
You said you served in the Alliance.
5 years in total. Stationed all over the galaxy. Even spent a couple of years as a Corsair.
I've never heard of the Corsairs.
It was an Alliance initiative. They hired independent starship captains and used them for missions that fell outside official Alliance jurisdiction. Technically, we weren't part of the Alliance. If we ever got caught, they could disavow any knowledge of us. We were supposed to be free from restrictions and rules. But there was still enough red tape to sink a cruiser. I finally just gave up.
That sounds more akin to being a privateer than the Corsair, but sure, whatever.
Why did you join Cerberus?
I guess I just got tired of never making a difference. So much of what we did in the Alliance seemed pointless. I thought things would change after the attack on the Citadel. Humanity was finally invited to join the Council, but nothing changed. Politics, bureaucracy, same bullshit, different leaders. Cerberus is different. When colonies go missing, we don't commission a team to write a report to figure out what the hell to do about it. We just go and find out.
Speaking of pointless, his epaulets? Pauldrons? I'm not entirely sure what they're supposed to be. They look like they serve literally no purpose beyond the aesthetic.
That's all for now.
Which I'm, you know,
yes, ma'am.
Fine with. Do it for the look, Jacob, but still.
We should be there shortly, Shepard. The elusive man put us under your command. Do you have any orders?
What did you find at the other colonies?
Nothing. No signs of attack, no corpses, not even a trace of unusual genetic material to give us a clue. They just disappear. And we've got no target to go after.
Are you sure you'll be comfortable following my orders?
We didn't bring you back from the dead just to second guess you, Commander. If the elusive man says you're in charge, you're in charge.
Hell yeah.
What makes you think this investigation will turn up anything new?
At other colonies, official investigators got there first. Sometimes looters or salvage teams as well. We're hoping to be the first ones there this time. Maybe find clues before somebody else disturbs the scene.
Yes, Flux, we saved the Destiny Ascension at the end of Mass Effect 1. The Council owes us.
Our first priority is to look for survivors.
That's unlikely, Commander. No one was left at the other colonies. They were completely deserted.
Be nice to find somebody. Anything's better than another ghost town.
We can still look for survivors, Miranda. We just might not find them. Debbie Downer over here. Yeah, see, Ari, these are my weapons. Pistol, machine pistol, and grenade launcher. That's why there's no redeem. I guess I could do the weapon change, and it's just swap between SMG and heavy pistol until I run out of ammunition at the very least. I'll enable that for next stream. That'll be Monday, in all likelihood.
Looks like everyone just got up and left right in the middle of dinner.
Strange. No bodies, no structural damage, and no signs of battle.
Yet. We're about to have another tutorial moment.
Security systems were disabled at the other colonies.
Here we go! Hostile!
Nope. I may have double tapped A by accident. Chat. That's on me. That is solidly on me. Oh, all right, they have a level up as well. I should probably do that. Is that loyalty mission? Yeah, loyalty mission. Curse you! I want 4 for squad ammo. I'm gonna. We'll just give him 1 point. So one of the cool things in this is when you hit the rank 4 in an ability, there are two variations of each ability, and with ammo types, which replaced the, okay, which replaced the equipable ammo types from the first game. You can set it to squad, so that every member of the squad gets the benefit.
Those mechs shouldn't have been hostile. They should have recognized us as human.
Someone reprogrammed them to attack on sight. We're not alone here.
It begins. The death of security mechs. The death of thousands of security and military personnel in the Battle of the Citadel was a loss felt throughout the galaxy. As large numbers of qualified personnel transferred to the Citadel to replace those that died, short-handed security companies filled out their numbers with large-scale use of unmanned security robots. Commonly referred to as mechs, these security robots are typically grouped into light and heavy varieties. Light mechs come in a variety of sizes, but are easily distinguished by opposable digits that help them in their versatile security roles. Heavy mechs lack digits, and are simply weapons platforms intended to keep the peace in high-threat areas. The quadrupedal dog mech has a face composed of contraband detection sensors, and it too is armed in case a perpetrator resists arrest. A typical security mech has an extremely limited virtual intelligence. Its duty is straightforward and narrow, usually to guard an area, run a friend or foe program to halt unauthorized access, and fire a set of pre-recorded voice commands to warn troublemakers away from the area. Light security mechs are equipped with irritant sprays and electroshockers to force compliance, and heavy mechs may be outfitted with flashbang stunners for similar purposes. When facing an opponent armed with a firearm, any mech will immediately resort to lethal anti-personnel weapons to neutralize the threat. If the situation turns violent rapidly enough, it may not even use its warnings. Security mechs are frowned upon for actual military duty. Though tough enough to survive most firefights, their VI simply does not have the programming to plan an ambush, rescue a hostage, treat a wound, or any of countless other objectives that a soldier must be able to perform on the fly. Is the dog mech a good boy? Of course it's a good boy, Harry. That's why he's running towards me. He wants pets. Unfortunately, Shepard is allergic to dogs and cannot give pets, except from a distance with the ammunition. Use tree C. So at the top right of that screen, there's a bar that ticks down. Once it reaches a certain point, you start losing money from the save. So technically, I should save before every save.
We're compromised.
I'll forget to do that.
Come on over.
So that's on fire because Jacob has a shotgun with incendiary ammo equipped. Incendiary ammunition is good against armor. Hey, Quarians.
Stop right there!
Praza, you said you'd let me
Hey,
handle
Tali.
this. Wait. Shepard?
I'm not taking any chances with Cerberus operatives.
Put those weapons down! Shepard? Is that... you're alive?
Like, I know Shepard dated Liara, but Tali is clearly... well, Tali is second best girl after Rex.
Remember when I gave you that Geth data tally? Did it help you complete your pilgrimage?
Yes, it did. Praza, weapons down. This is definitely Commander Shepard.
Why is your old commander working for Cerberus?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask.
I nearly died, Tali. Cerberus spent 2 years rebuilding me. They want me to investigate attacks on human colonies.
Likely story. No organization would commit so many resources to bring back one soldier.
You haven't seen Shepard in action, Praza. Trust me, it was money well spent. Perhaps we can work together. We're here looking for a young Quarian named Vitor. He was here on pilgrimage.
Isn't that a little strange? A Quarian visiting a remote human colony?
Quarians can choose where they go on pilgrimage. Vitor liked the idea of helping a small settlement. He was always nervous in crowds.
She means that he was unstable. Combine that with damage to his suit CO2 scrubbers and an infection from an open-air exposure, and he's likely delirious.
When he saw us landing, he hid in a warehouse on the far side of town. We suspect he also programmed the mechs to attack anything that moved.
Pretty sure Praza's voiced by Mark Meer, by the way. He voices Male Shepherd.
Vitor's the only one who can tell us what happened here. We should work together to find him.
Good idea. You'll need 2 teams to get past the drones anyway.
Now we're working with Cerberus?
No, Praza, you're working for me. If you can't follow orders, go wait on the ship. Head for the warehouse through the center of the colony. We'll circle around the far side and draw off some of the drones to clear you a path.
I realised this wasn't the proper cutscene. Side note, I would love for Tali's hood as like a cowl.
Your people really don't like Cerberus. What did I miss?
They killed our people, infiltrated our flotilla, and tried to blow up one of our ships.
That's not how I'd have explained it exactly. It was nothing personal.
We can argue over who killed who later. Right now, we've got a job to do.
Agreed. We work together to get to Vitor.
That whole incident is in one of the novels. I think it's the 3rd one, but I could be wrong. It's either the 2nd or the 3rd.
Make sure to keep in radio contact.
Will do. Good luck, Shepard. Whatever happens, it's good to have you back.
Thanks, Tali. It's good to be back. Anyone for alcohol? Let's get heckin' wasted.
Be careful, Shepard. There's a squad of security drones up ahead.
Thanks for the warning. We'll take care of them. Eyes ahead!
Oh, hey. That's on me. I walked into that. I'll admit to that one. Chat, don't step on exploding mechs. It's not good for your health. In case you were curious, it actually makes your life expectancy shorter.
Use overload on him.
Enemy down!
Oh, that one's got rockets. So you'll note there that I couldn't use my biotics on the shielded enemies.
I told them to wait, but they wouldn't listen. They want to find Vitor and take him away before you get here.
We should have expected this.
Come on, we can still catch them.
Shields, armor, and how they interplay with weapons really do play a bigger part in this game than the first one. Also, you get money now if you pick up Medigel and you're full. Oh, you can hear the cat. He might be about to be visited by his tiny criminal. Shepard, cover, please.
That one, enemy down!
Got him.
Out left arm. Okay, that's on me.
One less! Enemy down!
Shepard, we are inside the loading docks. Vitor reprogrammed the heavy mech. It's tearing Praza's squad apart.
They did want to get to Vitor first.
Get your squad into cover and I'll open the loading bay doors.
We'll take cover by the doors. Shepard, you take point. Going to cover!
Going to ground.
And now I guess I'll take this cover because I have a pistol and an SMG.
Take point.
Bring
Shepard.
it. There's the friendly Emir mech. 07.
That mech's got heavy armor plating. Those Quarians never stood a chance.
This is gonna be one tough son of a bitch to take down.
Nah, it's fine.
Overload will take out their shields.
Shepard, get back in cover. Astonishingly, it doesn't care about the black hole. Now I can use warp.
Here we go.
Hey, Miranda, could you also use warp, please?
Now let's finish you off.
Gravity's one beat, mother, huh? About to get hot.
Fell over. Well, I guess Praza's not going to be a whiny bitch anymore. Target.
This is your chance to go find Vitor while I tend to the wounded, Shepard. He's probably somewhere in the back of the loading bay.
Gotcha. Probably should have given Jacob a pistol rather than his shotgun for range purposes, but there we go. Power cells for heavy weapon ammo. Saving product very safe. This is going to be the fuse. $3,000 credits are mine.
What's this?
Upgrades. Iridium. Goodbye to my face.
Monsters coming back. Mechs will protect. Safe from swarms. Have to hide. No monsters. No swarms. No, 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 no.
Vitor?
No, Vitor. Not here. Swarms can't find. Monsters coming. Have to hide.
Nobody's gonna hurt you anymore.
I don't think he can hear you, Commander.
Have to hide. Have to hide. Mechs will protect. Swarms coming. Storm coming.
Yeah, there are quick time events in this RPG.
You're human. Where did you hide? How come they didn't find you?
Who didn't find us?
The monsters. The swarms. They took everyone.
We're not survivors, Vitor. We just got here.
You don't know. You didn't see. But I see everything.
Looks like security footage. He must have pieced it together manually.
What the hell is that?
My god. I think it's a collector.
Is that some kind of alien?
They're a species from somewhere beyond the Omega-4 relay. Only a few people have ever seen one in person.
They usually work through intermediaries, like slavers or hired mercenaries. If they're involved with the Reapers somehow, it could explain what happened to the colonies.
The Collectors have advanced technology. They could have a weapon that disables an entire settlement at once.
The Seeker swarms. No one can hide. The Seekers find you, freeze you. Then the monsters take you away.
Why didn't the Collectors take you?
Swarms didn't find me. Monsters didn't know I was here.
The Collectors aren't known for being careless. Maybe his enviro suit kept him from showing up on their sensors.
Or they were using technology specifically designed to detect humans. Only human colonies have been hit.
Tell me more about these swarms.
It's how they find you. Seeker clouds, machines like tiny insects. They go everywhere. They find you, then they sting you, freeze you.
Sounds like miniature probes, maybe. Find victims, then immobilize them with a stasis field or nerve toxin.
Or chat. And hear me out. Bees!
I want to know more about the Collectors.
Nobody knows much. They're so rare a lot of people don't even believe they exist.
More importantly, why are they abducting human colonists? What are they after?
Maybe the elusive man can figure it out.
What happened next?
Hell yeah, Harry.
The monsters
You
took
get
the
it.
people onto the ship, and then they left. The ship flew away. But they'll be back for me. No one escapes.
I think that's probably all we're getting out of him, Commander.
That's all the voice lines we could pay him to record.
We appreciate what you told us. You were very helpful.
I studied them. The monsters. The swarms. I recorded them with my Omni tool. Lots of readings. Electromagnetic. Dark energy.
We need to get this data to the elusive man. Grab the Quarian and call the shuttle to come pick us up.
What? Vitor is injured. He needs treatment, not an interrogation.
We won't hurt him. We just need to see if he knows anything else. He'll be returned unharmed.
Your people tried to betray us once already. If we give him to you, we'll never get the intel we need.
Praza was an idiot, and he and his men paid for it. You're welcome to take Vitor's Omnitool data, but please, just let me take him.
You don't have to take Vitor and go. We could work together, just like old times.
I want to, but I can't. I've got a mission of my own. It's too important for me to abandon, even for you. When it's over, and I'm still alive, we'll see what happens.
Hell yeah.
That sounds dangerous. What are you doing?
I don't think Cerberus needs to hear about it, but it's in Geth space. That should tell you how important it is.
He's traumatized and he needs medical care. Tally will give us the Omnitool data and take him to the flotilla.
Understood, Commander.
Thank you, Shepard. I'm glad you're still the one giving the orders. Good luck out there. If I find anything that can help you, I'll let you know.
We're ready for pickup.
Bees! Shout out to Dragon Age Origins. Oop, more cutscene.
Shepard, good work on Freedom's progress. The Quarians forwarded their findings from Vitor's debriefing. No new data, but it's a surprising olive branch given our history. You and I have different methods, but I can't argue with your results.
You ever think about playing nice once in a while?
Diplomacy is great when it works, but difficult when everyone already perceives you as a threat. But more importantly, you confirm the Collectors are behind the abductions.
Why do I get the feeling you knew about them already?
I had my suspicions, but I needed proof. The Collectors are enigmatic at best. They periodically travel to the Terminus systems, looking to gather seemingly unimportant items or specimens, usually in exchange for their technology. When their transactions are complete, they disappear as quickly as they arrived, back beyond the unmapped Omega-4 relay. Until now, we've had no evidence of direct aggression by the Collectors.
Why is the Omega-4 relay unmapped? What do we know about it?
Only that no ship passing through it has ever returned. Our best guess is that the relay reacts differently to Collector vessels, allowing them safe passage. If they can manipulate relays, that's just further evidence of the connection with the Reapers.
Any ideas on why they've shifted their focus to humans?
If they're agents for the Reapers, it could be any number of reasons. Obviously, humanity played a huge role in Sovereign's destruction. That might have been enough to draw their attention. What really concerns me is why they bother abducting the colonists. Once the humans are paralyzed, why not just kill them?
Sometimes you just need a spare person. Honestly, don't you know anything?
What are the Collectors getting from these deals?
The Collectors aren't very forthcoming about their motives. Generally, they seek out species with rare genetic mutations or abnormalities. They pay slavers and merc groups exorbitant sums to obtain these specimens, and then they leave. But they've never targeted a single species before, and the previous sample sizes were in the dozens, not the tens of thousands.
You're holding something back. How do you know the Reapers are involved?
The patterns are there, buried in the data. The Council and the Alliance want to believe the Reaper threat died with Sovereign. You and I know better. I won't wait until the Reapers are on the march. We need to take the fight to them.
If this is a war, I'll need an army, or a really good team.
I've already compiled a list of soldiers, scientists, and mercenaries. You'll get dossiers on the best of them. Finding them and convincing them to work with you could be challenging, but you're a natural leader. I'll continue to track the Collectors. When they make their next appearance, I'll notify you and your team. Be ready.
Keep your list. I want people I trust. The ones who helped me stop Saren and the Geth.
That was 2 years ago, Commander. Most of them have moved on, or their allegiances have changed.
Where's Garrus Vicarian?
The Turian disappeared a few months after you were declared dead. Even we haven't been able to locate him.
Not my bro. Not my bro, Garrus.
Where's Ashley Williams?
She's still with the Alliance. Promoted, I believe. Her file is surprisingly well classified.
Where's Erdnot Rex?
He returned to Chichanka, and he hasn't gone off-world in over a year. He's trying to unite the Krogan clans.
Yeah, that's right, chat. That's right, Erdnot Rex. He's a Disney princess.
What about Tali? She already helped us on Freedom's Progress.
That was unexpected. I need more intel before I'll commit to that.
Where's Liara Tisoni?
She's on Ilium. My sources say that she's working for the Shadow Broker. If so, she can't be trusted.
Okay, I get it. They're not available.
You're a leader, Shepard. You'll get who you need.
I'm still a Spectre. Maybe I can get the Council to help us out.
If you think you can convince them, by all means. Just remember, you've been gone a long time. Things have changed.
What's sad, Harry?
You worry about the Collectors. I'll make sure my team's ready.
Shepard, out.
Good. 2 things before you go.
Shepard,
First,
back.
Head to Omega and find Mordin Solus. He's
Mordin.
a brilliant Solarian scientist. Our intelligence suggests he may know how to counteract the Collector's paralyzing Seeker swarms.
Why didn't they give you back your companions? Don't know, really. The companions we do get are pretty cool, though.
I haven't even started and you're telling me what to do?
I'm giving you direction. What you do with it is up to you. I'm sure you'll make the right decision.
All right. What's the other thing?
I found a pilot I think you might like. I hear he's one of the best. Someone you can trust.
Hey, it's Joker.
Hey, Commander. Just like old times, huh?
I can't believe it's you, Joker.
Look who's talking. I saw you get spaced.
Got lucky, with a lot of strings attached. How'd you get here?
It all fell apart without you, Commander. Everything you stirred up, the Council just wanted it gone. The team was broken up, record sealed, and I was grounded. The Alliance took away the one thing that mattered to me. Hell yeah, I joined Cerberus.
You really trust the elusive man?
Well, I don't trust anyone who makes more than I do. But they aren't all bad. Saved your life, let me fly, and there's this. They only told me last night.
You ready for shivers, chat? Frickin' SR2. It's the Normandy.
It's good to be home, huh, Commander?
I guess we'll have to give her a name.
Well, it's the Normandy SR2, Shepard. It's right there. I have an SR2 bath mat, in case anyone was curious how nerdy I am. It's pretty sweet, not gonna lie. It's always bamboozled me how small the text is and how loud the music is on this interstitial screen. And yeah, they got Joker back. Joker's pretty cool. There's Jeff. That's his actual name. Jeff Moreau.
Welcome aboard the new Normandy, Commander.
I've been looking over the dossiers. I'd strongly recommend starting by acquiring Morden Solus, the Solarian professor on Omega. We know the Collectors use some type of advanced technology to immobilize their victims. We'll need him to develop a countermeasure to protect us.
And without that countermeasure, we'll be helpless if we ever run into the Collectors.
Acquiring Professor Solus seems like the most logical place to start.
Who are you?
I am the Normandy's artificial intelligence. The crew like to refer to me as Edie.
She looks a bit yonic. Get your titters out now.
Helmsmen aren't happy when someone takes control of a ship away from them. Especially Joker.
I do not helm the ship. Mr. Moreau's talents will not go to waste. During combat, I operate the electronic warfare and cyber warfare suites. Beyond that, I cannot interface with the ship's systems. I observe and offer analysis and advice. Nothing more.
I'm guessing it takes more than just the three of us plus Joker to fly this ship.
The Normandy has a full crew. They're at their stations awaiting your orders.
Final preparations for takeoff are complete, Commander. When you're ready to go, just pick a destination from the galaxy map and the CIC and I'll plot a course.
Jacob and I should return to our posts. Come find us if you have any questions.
Thanks, Jacob. So, while, as I said earlier, I prefer the story in Mass Effect 1, the crew of the Normandy in Mass Effect 2 is so good. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, it's not as open as the SR1 is. You do, like, each floor is its own map, I guess. Acquire the Professor to research upgrades for your squad's equipment. That's what the elements go on, the resources and things. Go on upgrades. Zaid is DLC. Kasumi Goto also DLC, but God, I wish you could romance Kasumi. That's a DLC mission. That's DLC. Oh god, Project Firewalk is going to make me cry again, isn't it? Not cry, but make me feel real sad on the inside. Hate the Hammerhead, love the storyline.
With elaborate secrecy, Cerberus labored for years to build a new, superior Normandy. The vehicle's many alterations produced a craft nearly double the original size, requiring an even larger Tantalus drive core to compensate. The new Normandy features greater space in living quarters, research laboratory, observation deck, and cargo bay. Its shuttle can make landings the Normandy cannot attempt. In addition to tight beam communicators, Normandy's Quantum Entanglement Communicator, QEC, provides instantaneous contact with the elusive man. The Enhanced Defense Intelligence AI coordinates many of the ship's combat functions, assisting and even supplanting human piloting. Potential upgrades are numerous. The airframe could support additional armor and an axial mass accelerator. The thrusters could support recent advances in fuel technology beyond H2O2 chemical rockets. And the hull can mount double the standard number of kinetic barrier projectors, leaving space for stronger shields, easily sustainable via the new EZO drive core.
We need the paper aircraft, clearly. Oh, Ari, thank you for the review, by the way. I meant to message you about it.
Living beyond the Omega-4 mass relay in the Terminus systems, the mysterious Collectors species is glimpsed so rarely as to be taken for a myth by most in galactic society. In reality, Collectors are human-sized insectoid bipeds and can resemble massive winged beetles. They are a terrifying force in the galaxy, responsible for the murder of hundreds of thousands. Collectors generate permanent stasis fields around themselves, creating nightmarish red-shifted energy fields. In battle, they hold position whenever possible, relying on their aggressive biotics and nearly limitless power. Several types of bipedal Collectors have been identified, including minions, defenders, zealots, assassins, and artillery operators. Acting together, Collectors have imprisoned entire cities in stasis. While no definite forensic accounting exists to explain the fate of those imprisoned, leading speculation is that victims are harvested for scientific experimentation and neurobiological repurposing.
Looks approves of the Collectors to no one's surprise. I am not surprised, actually. I agree with that statement. That clause. We're not referring to as Bubs. Yeah, that was just because I felt that Comrade Bubbles didn't necessarily have the gravitas that, you know, I might need for that kind of job. Just checking the evolutions. None of those are particularly great, so I guess I'll just start ranking things up. Focus on mastery for now to get the increased Paragon points. So I've got... So that's DLC. That's DLC. That's not DLC. That is story, that story, that story, and that story. I won't be doing the convict for a while. I have to psych myself up for it every time. The entire level in which you recruit Jack is very red, and it gives me a headache. So I have to work up to it. I probably will go and get Morden, because I just like him as a character, but he's on Omega as is Archangel, so there's a lot of stuff to do on Omega. We won't be doing this for a while. But I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Let's talk to Yeoman Chambers.
Aboard, Commander. I'm Yeoman Kelly Chambers. I've been assigned as your administrative assistant. I'll manage your messages and help you monitor the crew. And I must say, it's such an honor to work under you, Commander Shepard.
I will flirt with Kelly because I love her character.
I'm glad to have you on the team, Miss Chambers.
Please, call me Kelly.
Actually, if you don't romance anyone, Kelly, I think Kelly gives you like a lap dance.
Okay, Kelly.
Anything else?
Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
What are your responsibilities?
I'll keep you notified of any messages or appointments you might have. If any of the crew has important business to discuss, I'll make sure you know.
Isn't that the type of task better suited for a VI?
Yes, but being your yeoman is just my official role. Unofficially, I observe the crew. Everyone knows how risky our mission is. Many of us may not be coming back. That's a lot of pressure. I have a degree in psychology. I'm good at sensing when people are overly taxed.
You make sure the crew's mental health is sound.
Yes. I look for warning signs. I listen. It's not a full-time job, and it's most effective when done informally.
Chat, look after your mental health.
We're lucky to have someone with your skills, Kelly.
Thank you, Shepard. What else would you like to know?
This organization has a dark reputation. Do you have any concerns working for them?
Not at all. Our methods can be harsh, but Cerberus has noble objectives. We look out for human interests. Advance human technology, save human lives. They're good goals.
It sounds like Cerberus wants to dominate all aliens and put humankind on top.
Cerberus looks out for humanity, but that doesn't mean we hate aliens. My sister started a dog shelter, but she loved cats too. I love humanity. I also love Asari, Quarian, Turian, Solarian, Hanar.
Yeah, right,
What isn't in
Krogan.
conflict with Cerberus ideals?
I try looking after it, but it keeps wanting to go outside and play. I think it's this one.
How do you feel about being assigned to the Normandy?
I was handpicked by the Elusive Man to help fight the greatest threat known to humanity. How do I feel? Honored, exhilarated, terrified. But mostly I feel encouraged. Under your leadership, we can't fail.
Don't worry. We'll defeat the Collectors.
I trust you implicitly. The moment I met you, I knew I could close my eyes, fall back, and you'd be there.
That might do more than catch you, Kelly.
Now that's an enticing thought. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, I'm good.
I better go.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk later.
I'll check my terminal on the way to the lift. So I'm looking at the time. I'm going to talk to everyone on this level, and then I'm probably going to wrap up.
Yes, Shepard.
I want to know more about you.
Do you have a specific inquiry?
What do you do aboard the ship?
I operate the ship's electronic and cyber warfare suites in combat. My reaction time is much faster than any organic. I collate the records of shipboard monitoring devices for the Elusive Man. I serve additional functions which are restricted at this time.
If anyone is curious about Edie's voice actor, it's Trisha Helfer.
Restricted functions?
She was in Battlestar Galactica.
What?
I do not know. Some of my databases are sealed, some of my hardware is kept offline. I assume that when certain unknown conditions are met, those functions will be released to me.
Cyber warfare means things like viruses, right?
In close-range ship-to-ship combat, I can sometimes break through the firewalls of an enemy's internal wireless network. Once I seize control of their systems, I can turn off gravity or air. I can disable weapons guidance or shields, or I can put their fusion plant in meltdown. On the defense, I manage Normandy's own suite of jammers, decoys, and internal firewalls.
One thing I don't appreciate about this game, all the time spent running around the ship to talk to people. I mean, technically it's optional. I just like doing it. I'm sorry.
Sounds incredibly useful. Why isn't there someone like that on every warship?
An organic operator cannot react quickly enough to changing circumstances, or perform the necessary multitasking. This is a role that can only be filled by an artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, we are suspect.
Well, it might have something to do with how an AI almost destroyed galactic civilization, just putting it out there.
Just putting it out there.
The Elusive Man has monitoring devices on board?
He has invested most of Cerberus's resources into the design and construction of this ship. He has an interest in monitoring our progress.
That's fair.
Let's discuss something else.
Ready.
I want to know more about you.
Do you have a specific inquiry?
How are you getting along with Joker?
Mr. Moreau does not trust me. It offends him that I am installed aboard his ship's computers.
Yeah, the last Normandy did just fine without an AI reminding me the airlock is ajar.
Oh, Joker. So since you don't know what has changed after events, you spend lots of time running around the game for no game updates. That's fair. That's fair.
Why are you named Edie?
EDI is the phonetic pronunciation of EDI. That is an acronym for Enhanced Defense Intelligence.
Where are you?
My core intelligence is housed in a quantum blue box located behind the medical bay.
I think by and large, it's you just talk to people after you've done like their loyalty missions and plot like main missions rather than assignments.
Let's discuss something else.
Ready.
I want to know more about the people I'm working with.
Much of that data is classified. Do you have a specific inquiry?
How did Cerberus replicate the most advanced warship in the Alliance Navy without anyone knowing?
I have a block that prevents me from answering that question.
What do you mean?
Although I am less controlled than other AI, I am still subject to behavioral blocks and the physical isolation of my hardware. In this case, I am prevented from truthfully answering your question by Cerberus's levels of secret classification.
Fair.
What sort of resources does Cerberus have?
Money, personnel, facilities?
I have a block that prevents me from answering that question.
How is Cerberus organized? Aside from the elusive man, I don't see much chain of command.
Cerberus is organized into task-oriented cells. Each operates in isolation. Members from one cell cannot recognize the members of another. Each cell's agents are led by a single operator. We are called the Lazarus Cell, which is directed by Operator Lawson.
And commanded by me.
So how many operations is Cerberus running right now?
I have a block that prevents me from answering that question. Ready.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the bridge, where the navigator plots our FTL vectors, and the helmsman maneuvers the ship.
Yeah, sitting right here, thanks.
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Can you believe this, Commander? It's my baby! Better than new. It fits me like a glove! And leather seats! Military may set the hardware standard, but on a first-gen frigate they could care less if the seats breathe. Civilian sector comfort by design.
The reproduction is not intended to be perfect, Mr. Moreau. Seamless improvements were made.
And there's the downside. I liked the Normandy when she was beautiful and quiet. Now she's got this thing I don't want to talk about. It's like ship cancer.
Is it though? Is it really?
That's not the same, Joker. There's nothing here that was even part of the real Normandy.
There's us. I have to take what I can get. The last 2 years sucked. You'll see. Even if an AI is spying on us, no way they'll invest this much just to screw us over. It'll be better than the old days.
I hope so. I died.
Yeah, you were such a downer.
No, she's got a point.
Commander.
So, how do you think we're doing?
Well, the Normandy's not as ready as she could be. There's always more we could upgrade. As for the crew, you'd have to ask a people person.
He's not a people person, chat.
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last, I would never say anything against Miranda and expect to survive the reprisal. Jacob is way too nice a guy for the number of ways he knows how to kill people. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
Ever think about the old Normandy and the trouble we got up to?
Yeah, those seem like the good old days now, but come on, it was hell at the time. Geth, Saren, Sovereign, and then we got dumped. We're stuck in a weird place, sure, but back then it wasn't all sunshine and bunnies.
It's not sunshine and bunnies now. We're on a spaceship. Notably, there are no rabbits in space. Outside of the
What
ship.
happened to the rest of the old crew? I heard most survived.
Almost did. Presley didn't. The rest of us just sort of drifted apart. The Alliance didn't care. I don't think they liked all the non-humans in your crew. We were your
Like
team,
3 of
Commander.
them.
With the Normandy destroyed and you gone, there wasn't much keeping us together.
I assume everything's going well up here?
I really want a chance to put the Normandy through her paces. I just have to trim up the drive output and it'll be like we never lost her.
Safety standards advise against manipulating drive settings while engines are powered and in use, Mr. Moreau.
Commander, can we shut this thing off? I don't need it in my day-to-day.
Vernacular in space, that'll make it much better. Looks, you might be right.
I'm no fan either, but we're stuck with it.
Until I find a soldering gun. There's gotta be some wires I can cross to make it hurt.
No sabotage. Understood?
Yeah, don't break the boss's toys.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
I like how there's more to talk about with Edie than there is with Joker. Right, let's go and talk to Jacob. I believe Jacob has an insult for the original SR, for the Normandy SR1. Oh, that's DLC. M100 grenade launcher, rapid fire grenade launcher favored by Bloodpack Vorcha mercenaries, capable of taking down multiple enemies with a single well-placed shot, effective against armor shields and barriers. Arc projector. The arc projector ionizes targets with a non-visible laser to ready them for a high-voltage electrical attack. As the lightning-like bolt hits its first target, a sophisticated auto-targeting system paints succeeding targets with the ionization laser, allowing the electricity to take the path of least resistance and arc between them. An entire enemy strike team can be shocked to death with a few pulls of the trigger. The M3 Predator. Heavy pistol, reliable, accurate sidearm, effective against armor, weak against shields and Bartic barriers. Manufactured by Alana's Risk Control, the Predator is valued as a powerful, deadly, and relatively inexpensive weapon. While it is not generally deployed in the military, where kinetic barriers are common, it's still very popular in the Terminus systems, where these defenses are less common. And the M4 Shuriken machine pistol. A common but effective submachine gun. Fires 3-round bursts and can be pulsed for a high rate of fire at the expense of accuracy. Very effective against shields and biotic barriers. As kinetic barriers have grown in popularity, so has the popularity of submachine guns. Manufactured by the Elkos Combine, the Shuriken machine pistol has a reputation for being deadly and easy to use, but is weak against armor. The M23 Katana shotgun. Common military shotgun, deadly at short range but ineffective at long range. Very effective against shields and biotic barriers, but weak against armor. Manufactured by Ariake Technologies, the katana is a common mercenary weapon and is also popular on colonies with Varan infestations. So when I get more guns, they kind of just start appearing. It's pretty cool. There's the drive core. There's Jacob. He's the armsman. The armorer, I guess. There's space chat. I don't know if you knew this, but space, it's pretty dark.
Commander, there hasn't been time to really settle in and take stock. I want to say that working with you is a great opportunity to do something that matters. It's a privilege to serve on the Normandy, Commander.
You may change your tune if we end up like the original Normandy.
Maybe. As long as the elusive man walks his talk, and you do the same, I'll do my best to make sure we succeed. That's been the condition for my service so far. I have issues with certain actions Cerberus has taken in the past.
What has Cerberus done to make you nervous?
A lot. They've been called terrorists, and with good reason. Doubt you can find a more checkered past. But if the Collector threat is real, and we do something about it, Cerberus will be remembered differently. Or we'll all be tried and executed.
One of the two.
Can't count on people thinking about it as hard as I have.
I look forward to working with you, Mr. Taylor.
Likewise, Commander. Let me know if you need anything.
I'm going to the tech lab. Hey, Edie. Tell me about quantum entanglement.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the FTL communications room. In addition to interfacing with the FTL comm network, Normandy is fitted with a quantum entanglement communicator linked to the elusive man's office. This allows lag-free communication even when you operate off the comm grid.
Why aren't these used everywhere?
Each quantum pair costs nearly as much as a comm relay, and can pass only one quantum bit of data at a time. In addition to the cost and bandwidth issues, the system is strictly point-to-point. To contact 100 different worlds, we would need to manufacture and install 100 entangled pairs, one linked to each world.
I've never heard of a quantum entanglement communicator. How does it work?
Essentially, two subatomic particles are created in an entangled state. One is installed here, and the other in the elusive man's office. When one particle occupies a given quantum state, its entangled partner will always enter the opposite state, no matter the distance between them. If we alter the state of our particle, that alters the state of the elusive man's. This allows us to send data in the form of quantum bits.
I thought that was the noise ducks made. You know? Quack. That's a joke.
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
It's a joke that unfortunately I can't put on the highlights reel because it requires, you know, the whole spiel about quantum entanglement communications. So that's purely for you, chat. Both of you. Oh, right, yeah, I think they did a DLC that was alternate costumes for some characters. We'll stick Miranda in her less, you know, in her more practical suit. No upgrades. Okay, time to read. From Councillor Anderson. On the off chance that the rumours are true and you actually are alive, I need you to come and talk to me on the Citadel. A lot has changed in the last 2 years. You put me on the council, and it's only fair that you be allowed to speak for yourself about what we've been hearing. From the Elusive Man. Shepard, we've reached an agreement with veteran mercenary Zaid Masani. You may know the name. Zaid has been involved in some of the best known and some utterly unknown military operations in the Terminus systems, and is feared as a ruthless and relentless bounty hunter. I felt you might need a man with his skills on your mission, so I arranged to have him join you. You'll find him on Omega where he's wrapping up his current bounty. Don't worry about his fee. I've taken care of that personally. From Project Firewalker. Commander, the MSV Rosalie, a survey ship with Cerberus connections, has gone missing. The survey team was field testing a new prototype, the Hammerhead planet-side exploration rover. It's a tank. In addition, scientists Dr. Manuel Case and Dr. Robert O'Loy are aboard the MSV Rosalie and conducting research for us. We need you to find the ship, the survey team, and the doctors. The MSV Rosalie was last seen near planet Ziona, Callista, Ismar Frontier. From Admiral Hackett. Commander Shepard, our scans in the Armada system have turned up something we thought you should see. The final location of the wreckage of the SSV Normandy. We thought this news might be important to you, but we also have an ulterior motive. The Alliance would like to honour the Normandy with a monument to be built on the site of the ship's final resting place. We'd like to invite you to place the monument and be the first to walk on the site. There are still 20 crew members unaccounted for from the attack on the Normandy. If you find any signs of these lost crewmen, we ask that you report to the Alliance so that those heroes' families might find some closure. Godspeed to you, Commander. Recon HUD from the Luciman. Shepard, it occurred to our armor technicians that you may not want to show your face everywhere you go. They sent by a HUD that Cerberus issues to its covert operatives. It has additional microframe functions that you may like. The HUD is in your quarters. Overlord from Luciman. Shepard, one of our cells just went off the grid without explanation. Project Overlord has been experimenting with highly volatile technology, and I need you to investigate. Their work is extremely compartmentalized, enough that I can't divulge operational details over this channel. You'll find them on the Planet 80, Typhon system, and the Phoenix Massing cluster. Please use care in this matter. Overlord is the really sad DLC, I believe. Shepard, we recently had an incident involving the Geth at one of our outposts in the Skyllian Verge. Don't worry, I'm not sending you off to chase anything down. Our operatives waged a highly successful battle against the Geth scouting party and credited their success to a new advanced electrical attack device that we finally let them take out of the lab. Since their unit is being reassigned for some rest and relaxation, I thought you should take custody of the weapon in the meantime. The weapon is called an arc projector. I sent it to the Normandy's armory so you can examine it for yourself and use it if you deem it worthy. It's gone through plenty of tests that indicate it overloads kinetic barriers and synthetic enemies particularly well, but laboratory demonstrations are a poor substitute for actual field reports. We know it works. Now we want to see what it can do in the right hands. If all goes well, we'll use your tactics to train other operatives. Shepard. At great cost and effort, we have tracked down the master thief Kasumi Goto and convinced her to work with you. Very few people have ever heard of her, and fewer can claim to have seen her in person. She is unequalled at stealth and infiltration, and her skills will prove invaluable in your mission. Travel to the Zakira ward on the Citadel. There you will find a special ad terminal that differs from the usual. Input the password, silence is golden. Sorry. To begin the rendezvous. From Stanwyck Dobbs, banking agent, Ascension Financial Services, Earth. Hello, Commander Shepard. Thank you for submitting your updated medical documentation. Your status has been changed from deceased to alive. After deducting modest administration fees for closing the file, the subsequent change in status, and the reactivation of your account, you have a remaining balance of 100,000 credits. Thank you for banking with Ascension Financial Services. We look forward to meeting with you. Are you protecting your greatest assets? We will find the best life insurance rates and coverage to fit your needs. Reply for a free quote today.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Hi, Kelly. I have not. You lied to me. So I'm just going to go up to the captain's cabin. There's no one to talk to in the captain's cabin, so apart from Edie, obviously. She's everywhere.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the commanding officer's quarters.
It's larger than the quarters of other warships I've served on.
This is a Cerberus vessel, not an Alliance warship. Accommodations have been made for personal taste. That said, this space is directly under the exterior pressure hall. The fitting yard workers called it the loft.
A little bathroom. A mirror that actually reflects. Check my messages up here. This is for music and achievements. There is music somewhere. Oh, hey, look at that. It's a picture of Liara. Most importantly, chat, yes, you can buy fish. And yes, you can feed them here. There's the music options. Right, the hood. Recon HUD. HUD issued to covert action teams this model's optic display interfaces with most small arms auto-targeting software, linking hand and eye for improved accuracy and increased weapon damage. Ballistic mesh fabric and composite ceramic plating provide necessary armor, and the integral air filter helps in hostile environments. Increases weapon damage by 5%. I wasn't enjoying the hoodie, if I'm being honest. Yeah, so I think it takes off the helmet in cutscenes, but I could be wrong. Anyway, I need to clear all these out. Mark all those as viewed. Cerberus Project Overlord, Planet 80. 2 beautiful moons, 1 spectacular ring, 0 neighbours. Says a popular advertisement for this Terminus Systems world. 80 is known for its sparsely settled population despite being a garden planet with a colony nearly a century old. Blessed with a mild climate, wildlife no more dangerous than that on Earth, and soil and bacteria amenable to imported plants, 80 would appear to be an unexploited paradise. However, it is unpopular for 2 reasons. The first, and most obvious, is that its moon, Leyte, is in an unstable orbit that will lead to a planetary impact and an extinction-level event within the next 2 centuries. As such, all investment in the planet is short-term, and the biggest business is selling off the local biota to the highest bidder. The second drawback is the level of violence on the planet. Like the rest of the Phoenix massing cluster, 80 was briefly considered part of Citadel space during its first wave of colonization. However, when the colony broke off to become an independent planet in 2133, the Council let the doomed planet go with less than a day of debate. Free from any real governing body, 80's history has since been filled with wars between small frontier town city-states over its resources. The result is a dangerous world, where the average citizen is expected to be self-reliant to the point of fending for themselves against cutthroat corporations, strong-arm militia groups, and even Geth incursions. The fighting is so frequent that the name of the planet itself has changed more than 11 times. In a sign of blunt indifference, standard Citadel galaxy maps refer to the world by the name given to it by human colonists in the latter half of the century. Computers, haptic adaptive interface. Oh, hi. Advances in computing have done away with traditional input devices like keyboards. Instead, modern input peripherals are usually holographically displayed in front of the user at a height and angle for ergonomic ease. Machines that use this interface detect a user through a microframe chip in the user's glove that keys in to the computer. Once a user is accepted, motion accelerometers in the user's gloves match his hand's location with that of a proportionate but smaller mirror set of controls inside the computer itself. As the user presses against the holographic field, force feedback in the gloves kicks in, giving a slight resistance. A person can then feel his way through using a touchscreen that isn't actually there. A simple toggle switch on the back of the hands allows the gloves to be turned off when not in use. Haptic interfaces have become so common that some individuals undergo cybernetic enhancement surgery to have the accelerometers implanted in their fingertips. Going bare skin is the sign of a committed computer user who no longer has to fuss with putting on gloves or cleaning them with alcohol wipes to get rid of the clammy hand smell.
A political economic pact for collective colonial security, the Alliance is the central galactic institution of human society. The Alliance gained associate membership to the Citadel Council in 2165 and full membership in 2183, with Ambassador David Anderson representing humanity. Human political economic relationships vary between combative and lucrative. The Turians who'd fought humans during the 2157 First Contact War have become valuable trade partners, despite residual social hostility. Other relationships are even more complicated. The rapid rise of human political influence on the Council, achieving in decades what others waited or are still waiting centuries to acquire, has galvanized suspicion and resentment against humanity. That negativity is vastly outweighed by the respect and trust humanity earned by saving the Council during the 2183 attack on the Citadel, at the cost of Alliance cruisers Cairo, Cape Town, Emden, Jakarta, Madrid, Seoul, Shenyang, and Warsaw, and their 2,400 crew.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, it was my decision that led to those 2,400 people dying, but still. So that's everything I'm going to investigate today. I'll go down to the next deck, but then I'm going to save and wrap up. We'll go for... We'll save the best room for last, chat. We'll save the best room for last. Compulsive double save. Also, this is the map. It's a choice. It's nice to be back in Mass Effect 2. As I said, love Mass Effect 1, but this is probably my favourite game in the series, as it is for most people. YouTube, as ever, please do let me know what you thought in the comments below. Please share the content with anyone you think might like it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, swing by twitch.tv/ComradeBubbles and moonbeam.stream/user/ComradeBubbles and follow me on both of those. That's free. You can join my Moonbeam realm as well. Various other ways to support me are in the YouTube video description if you want to support the channel, but you don't have to. I will keep making this content regardless. I've literally got nothing better to be doing. Except Burnout, which isn't better. No Mass Effect tomorrow, unfortunately, as I'm in the Wild Hunters Exalted Essence actual play over at twitch.tv/theonyxpath. However, if you are interested in that, that does go up on the Onyx Path YouTube channel. I think it's just youtube.com/@theonyxpath for later viewing. But please do pet your pets. Tell them they're good pets. They're always good pets. Please do stay safe. Please do stay healthy. Please do stay wholesome. Much love to you all, YouTube. Goodbye.